Good morning, or if you're listening to this in the afternoon, good afternoon. I'm Podcast Pete, founder of High Performance Podcast Mastery. Why are we on the Stroke Survivor podcast? Well, I'm a stroke survivor, so I think I'm qualified to host this and be able to offer a perspective that our stroke survivors can bring to our viewers. Every podcast that we do will be by somebody that can speak from experience. I think it's very difficult to do a podcast unless you can really put yourself in the shoes of the viewers. Because if people are going to listen to this podcast, we want the people that want to learn from a stroke survivor. So I'm going to give you 3 lessons. This is off the cuff. So we will have other guests on here. I hope to have Dr. Richie Zane. Richie, if you're out there, brother, we hung out together at Shepherd and we became good friends. He became a golfer. He was always a golfer, but he took it up when he retired from his practice. We always got to be looking at when the cards are dealt, you got to play them. You don't get a reshuffle. I don't get to undo what happened. It happened, and I have to adjust. And adjust, it was adjusting. So let me give you the 3 lessons I learned. There's about 100, but let me just give you 3. We try to bring our podcast community in groups of 3. On everything we do, you're going to see going forward 3 lessons from the podcast host, and it'll be the same lessons, but we'll have guests on there. He'll tell you how, or she'll tell you how she's applied her insights, so you can benefit by continuing to learn in specific niche areas. And that's what podcasting is bringing to us. We're bringing there's thousands of them out there. So I had a guy on a golf course a year or so ago when I was out there just playing with one hand. And he said, "Oh yeah, another podcaster." Yeah, exactly. But it's popular because general media, your TV, is declining and it's getting more specialized. So if you're interested in specific things, you tune in to specific things. That's the way podcasting works. Look at, what's his name? The guy that left Fox. I'll think of it in just a second. But he's doing now on X or Twitter, 2-hour podcast. I mean, when he comes on, he goes deep into topics. That's the advantages of podcasting is you can go deep into subjects where if you're on regular TV, you got sound bites after sound bites, minute here, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, 30 seconds here, 10 seconds. Sometimes you don't have a chance to explore what is really needed for our viewers to understand a topic or understand a guest. With podcasting and long form podcasting, like you see on YouTube, it's very common. You look at one of the more popular podcasts in there on business is David Bet. I get these. David Bet. Oh, geez. PTD. Patrick David. That's it. Patrick PTD. Patrick, well, you know what I mean. But you look him up. Patrick Bet David. He does entertainment or valuetainment. The home team's on there for an hour, sometimes 2 hours. And they explore the most current topics and go deep on there. When they bring a guest on there, it's not a 10-minute thing. It's a very long drawn out, which gives the viewers, look at his viewership. It's crazy. I mean, just when he introduces it, like an hour in, he's got 100,000 viewers, and then it keeps going up because people like what he brings. He brings honesty, he brings integrity, he brings something we're lacking out there. So people are responding by listening. He just did something like his live events are just crazy good because he brings opposing views and truth and gives you, the viewer, a chance to determine whether you want to patronize, listen, share, whatever it is. You are the most important thing to them, and it shows in their viewership. So let me get back to Stroke Survivor. So what 3 lessons did I learn? Okay. You don't have a choice of when trauma or tragedy hits. You don't. You basically have to take what hit. I mean, what came your way. I remember those probably a month in, I go in to talk to the neuro therapist, a neuro doctor. And she says, as I'm wheeling in there, she says, "How are you doing?" And I said, "Good." And then she said, No, how are you doing? Like I was just saying that. I said, "Dr. V, life is perspective. You just don't know what my past is. So you can only go with what you see on the chart and today going forward with me. But growing up and being a part of dyslexia, ADHD is certain challenges and some other things. So I got used to living with different mindsets. I'll just leave it at that. So a change like that is not as dramatic, maybe, for me versus another person that had not gone through that type of change or tragedy. So I had 49 days to self-reflect. Let me repeat, 49, 39 in Shepherd and 10 at Wellstar. And 10 in Wellstar felt like 59. That's another story for another day, but that just tells you comparing Wellstar to Shepherd was like comparing heaven to hell. No, well, let's don't go that far, but night and day. Okay. So you have to realize, have something to compare it to. There was some great things about Wellstar, but not in the evening because nobody's there and you're by yourself. And I'll just leave it at that. I was glad to get out of there. And it was when I wheeled in to Shepherd, there was a team of, I think, 8 or 10 or 12. I don't know. There was a bunch of people waiting there to greet me, introducing me to my team of therapists, from the recreation to the speech, to the occupation, to the physical, to the team lead, to the doctors. I mean, it was like I've never, even though you're not really wanting to be in that spot, it's definitely comforting when you see the care right before your eyes. I literally, so couldn't get into the bed. So I had a crane, a literal crane, pull me up out of the chair and wheel me into the bed. It's pretty cool because when you get like up there, it's like neat. But I mean, it's not really cool, but it's cool. The reason I tell you that is everybody has their challenges. Everybody. If you think you can escape life without these kind of life-changing events, well, you're in for a big surprise because you're going to get them and you don't even know when they're going to come. But you better be ready. So your mindset and your perspective of things, you want to prepare for it. Meaning, I've always been into personal development, always read books, always listened to tapes, always invested in learning. So my mindset versus maybe somebody else's was different. I couldn't wait to get out of bed in the morning and go into the fellowship hall and greet everybody. drink my coffee. I mean, when you're in bed for whatever, how many hours, let's say from 5 o'clock in the evening till 5 o'clock, 12 hours in a bed is no piece of cake. And you can't move and you get bed sores if they don't move you. Ooh, it's not the best. So you want to get up out of there and you can't do it by yourself. They won't let you. So, well, you can anyway, but they won't let you. So you have to get the nurses to get you out. So I would just sweet talk, whatever you want to say, to get them there before the shift change. So once the shift change, which was 8-ish, you might as well wait till 9:30. Now, if I waited till the shift change after it, holy mackerel, I've been in bed for so long, it's not very pleasant. But anyway, getting up out and wheeling down and being able to greet the people was one of the highlights of my day, to tell you the truth. So I say that number one is expect change. It's going to come, and it's going to come when you least expect it. But once you have that change or that life-changing event, you got to figure out, how does life go on from that day forward? The second thing is you realize how much family and friends mean, because you ain't doing anything in there. You ain't even eating. You're not eating. The first time I ate solid foods, which was, let's just say, I don't know, 6 weeks after I've been there. So it'd been like 10 days at Wellstar testing, and they're seeing if it'll flow. When Jen came to me and said, okay, we're going to let you go to whatever level, and you're going to be able to eat this type of food. The first thing I ate, broccoli. I mean, never thought. I eat broccoli now. It's had such a positive, after not eating solid foods and then you go back to eating, you'll eat anything. But broccoli was the first thing I got a chance to eat, and then it got better from there. But the reason I say that is family and friends mean everything. You find out who you really have in your life when tragedy hits. Some people go the other way. Some people lean into you. But that's just life. And the last thing is you find out how strong you really are. Because when you're faced with tragedy, you have to do either figure it out or blame it on somebody else. And if you take responsibility for getting better, you're going to be better off. If you take it with a good attitude, you're going to be better off. So you get the chance to see how strong you really are when tragedy, and you survive. That's the main thing. I feel like I'm working on house money, as they say. When Anya said to me, she goes, can I share something with you? And I said, sure, I'm not going anywhere. She said, do you know the type of stroke you have, people don't survive? And if they do, they're a lot worse. So you had a little angel watching after me. So thank goodness I had an angel. And I thanked her, because I don't know. You're there, you're just trying to figure out everything under it's just a new life, and you're trying to figure it out. But that gave me a perspective. And now I know, after listening to a lot of Growth Day and understanding people that have been in that same position, it's called mortality motivation. When you look death in the mirror and you survive, you're motivated differently than if you didn't look it in the mirror or look at that. So you approach things like every day is your last, because one day you're going to be right. So you appreciate every person, everything, because you look at it with a different set of eyes, because you realize how close you came to finishing your life here on earth. So I say that to say that whatever you can grab in your life, whatever you can do to, let's say, treat every day like it's your last, you'll be better. You'll be kinder to people. You'll be present when you're talking to people. You'll appreciate everything so much better than if you just took for granted your day or complain about something or whatever it is. So those are the three things I wanted you to be aware of, or at least share with you. Now, this podcast will be done the same time each week. So we hope to have stroke survivors on, maybe therapists, maybe different people as guests. There'll always be 20 minutes. There'll always be 20 to 25, 3 points, everything. So hopefully I have Richie on there. I mean, we go to dinner. He's got a wonderful, Laurie's wonderful, and he's learning to live a different life because he can't practice what he as an OBGYN. But you just have to figure out what the next chapter is going to look like. Because if you can embrace the next chapter, it'll be much better. So my name is Pete Kane. Now, let me see if I can do this. I'm going to try something new. Okay. Now, how do you get a hold of me? Right there. PodcasterPeteKane.com. That's my direct cell number. Now I'm going to see. This is going to see if I can do this. Hold on here. Might work. I don't know. All right. What I'm doing, I just up. Oh, it did. Oh, my gosh. This is so good. Okay. All right. Hold on here. What's going on here? Yeah, it's maybe let me try it one more time. Bear with me because yes, there it is. I was doing on video, upload file. There we go. Okay. Oops. Why is that not clicking? I just uploaded one, but it's not working. Okay. Let me go to this plan B. Okay. So plan B is this. Okay. Watch this. This is going to be cool. I am going to show you a way. So if you're a business owner, you're going to want to listen to this. Okay. It's called Buy Back Your Time. Now, why is that important? Because everybody gets 24 hours. Nobody gets more, nobody gets less. Well, you can't get less if that's the last. But let me just say, the one thing that you want to buy back is email and calendar. We spend so much time emailing back and forth, and it's like a dark hole. Your calendar, you can spend all this time. Well, we have devised a system. Let me see if I can show you any of this. I think Dan Martell, man, this book, get it. Google him, find out about him. You want to know more about Buy Back Your Time. The best book. My partner, Jeff, sent it to me. I finished it. I got a couple pages in the book, but I finished the audio. And I listened to a bunch of information on it. I took ChatGPT and summarized it. But anyway, he's going to go into the time assessments. He's going to go into the buyback loop. He's going to talk about the biggest insights from this section. He's going to talk about the buyback formula, dividing 2,000 hours into your income. And there's a rate there, and you'll have to dive into the book. And so you're going to look at the 95-5 rule, and there's a formula behind that. 3 big insights from this section, always doing that. The drip quadrant, there's going to be, you want to always be in this. So if this quadrant is you want to always be replacing, taking things like email and calendar, putting it into your replacement, and then eventually getting it over here. This is where you make money. If you spend a lot of time in here or here, we call it in the weeds, then you're not going to grow your income. And your investment might be like things like podcasting. So there's a formula there. That's another one. Time and energy audit. Find out what gives you energy. And you got to look at it, and you got to be able to take an assessment of you personally. There's one of him. So he puts value out here so you can see the high value activities, where you're getting your energy from, where you're making your adding value and making money in your business. The replacement ladder, there's a whole philosophy around that. Then you're also going to get into this is where we want to offer you a system to buy back 10 hours a week. If you can take 10 hours a week off your calendar and replace that with spending more time with your high value clients or doing things to produce value for your clients, then you're going to be better off. If you're just sending emails back and forth and looking at your calendar, anybody can, not anybody, but people can do that. And that's where we have a skilled individual. And then that's just that the recording tools. Let me go to one thing here. I want to just get to a slide, which I think is very important. There it is. There we go. This is what we're talking about now. Why buy back your time with executive assistant? So we have a team in the Philippines. One person does nothing but, Rolando, this is for you, brother. Okay, he does nothing but manage. Well, he does two things. He does a lot of things, but he does two things very, very well. And this is the task we're offering our clients. So you can buy back up to 10 hours a week and do it with an investment of $100 a week and commit for 90 days and see what that does to your business. It's already rocked my business because he's been doing it for me for a couple weeks. I've been able to experience when I'm not emailing, and which I'm not very good at anyway, but when you're doing higher leverage things, connecting, content, podcasts, things that add value to your business, and you can buy back 10 hours, picture taking 10 hours, which is say it's 2 hours a day, and you're going to take that, have somebody do it for you, and you're going to focus on being closer to your clients, adding more value. Your income will go like this. And so you're going to be able to experience that. And you do it by doing it. You can only do it if you experience. You can talk about it, but look at his book. Go read it. Read about him. Dan Morrell, I think it is. Let me see. Martell. He's a SaaS. I mean, he's built companies, but this book is the best book. Thank you, Jeff, for doing that. He sent it to me, and I read books. I listen. I get audio on it. I read it, and I also do a summary on it. So I'm retaining 1,000% more than I used to. But if you're interested in this and you've been on my show, you've been a podcaster, it's only offered to people in our community. Call me. If this serves you, this one right now is, you can eventually go to it and you'll see, but we converted back to our website. So that's all I have, man, 23 minutes. So that's it. Thank you so much. Share this with people you know that can benefit by buying back your time and leveraging a personal assistant. Call me if you need to talk to me. I take calls from 4 to 5 every day and schedule times through my executive assistant. I love it. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Keep growing, keep learning, keep building, invest in yourself. You're the best investment you can ever make. Thank you so much. Pete Kane going, Podcast Pete, out, over and out.